Welcome to Meet the Candidates 2015, a voter education program brought to you by the Shakopee Chamber and Visitors Bureau. My name is Angie Whitcomb, and today I'm joined by John Canny, who is running for the Shakopee School Board. John, thanks for being here today. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Angie, and for taking the time to sit down. And it's exciting for me to be able to chat a little bit about the future of Shakopee and the schools. So
well, good.
It's good to be here.
Why don't we start this out by you giving myself and the viewers a bit of a history about yourself and what's motivating you to run.
Okay. I have a background in education. I actually started as an elementary school teacher right out of college, and then I taught for 7 years in 3rd grade and 6th grade in Iowa and Wisconsin, and then got into a principalship in Oshkosh, Wisconsin, where I was an elementary school principal for 5 years, and met my lovely wife, and she's from this area, and so I interviewed for a position at Shakopee at Sweeney Elementary back in 2000, and I was fortunate enough to be able to have that position for 4 years. I turned 40 and kind of reflected on career and really wanted to be a bit more entrepreneurial, even though I really enjoyed being a principal, and got into real estate. And I've been in real estate for the last 11 years in Shakopee. And about 4 years after that, I really missed the education part of my life and thought, it'd be a nice way to give back to run for school board. And so I ran for school board in 2004 and then was elected and served until 2008.
Okay.
So.
Well, great. So coming back into this, John, in your view, what is the most pressing issue facing the school district in the next year? And if elected to the school board, how will you work to address that?
Well, I think, as most of you viewers know, it's really an exciting time in Shakopee, both for the schools and for the city, with the things that are going on as far as the community center, the past referendum. And so I think as part of a school board, we have really a crucial time now to look at the voters have approved the referendum and how do we be good stewards of that money and accomplish the goals that we set off to accomplish through the referendum. And so I look at it as being one of the most pivotal times really in the Shakopee school district. And so I would like to use my talents in education and business to try to help with that. And so I think the most pivotal thing we have right now is to look at the design of the school. How is that going to incorporate with the existing building? How do we spend those funds efficiently? And how do we implement the technology grant or referendum that's going to be for the next 10 years? It's neat for my wife and I to see our kids come back from school with iPads and the excitement that they have and really the familiarity they have with it already, just having grown up with it.
Sure.
So, to me, we are at an exciting but really critical time.
I agree. So you touched on something in your background, education and business. My next question is, if you are elected to the school board, what 3 concrete action steps would you take or support that would help improve or support the health of the business community here in Shakopee?
Well, again, I think in this area, it's exciting. We have a really successful CAPS program, which connects businesses with students, and it's a great learning opportunity. They can learn, in school about a profession that they have interest in. They can earn credits, college credits through Normandale with that program, and it's a way to incorporate business, into the schools and help kids maybe better understand what profession do I want to get in or maybe major in college and have credits towards that after they graduate. So I think that's a really key program that we have right now that kind of unifies the school and the business. I think as a business standpoint, it's really important for our business owners that they have well-educated people coming through that they can hire and rely on. And that's helped to form a very positive relationship with that and getting feedback from businesses. So, I don't have like very burning things that I would come in and do right away, but certainly I would want to support programs such as that. We also have, with the referendum and the building addition, talk of doing academies that could potentially focus on some career, maybe partnering with, St. Francis or really any of the other businesses out there that are key players in our community that might have interest in that. And so it's really, I think, more a support for business and being a good support system to the teachers and the students and what their needs are, and trying to keep that relationship strong.
Great. So John, sitting on a school board and you're making decisions, in your opinion, whose interests should matter the most or weigh the most when the school board is in a decision-making process?
Well, I think ultimately we as a school board need to look at how we're serving our students and parents. And so we have an obligation to that, and if you look at interests, our main goal is to improve instruction and have a good experience for kids. And so I would be driven by that, and also by the public and taxpayers. So even if we have individuals in the community that don't have kids in the school district, they still have a vested interest as taxpayers, and really just about the overall good of the community would have some interest. So I would be very much an advocate for listening to students and staff and parents in the community, I think first and foremost, but also definitely an ear for others in the community that don't have kids.
Great. If somebody came up to you and said they were thinking about moving their family here to Shakopee or starting a business here in Shakopee, what would you say to them to convince them that that would be a good move?
Well, you know, it's an interesting question, because I'm being in real estate, I meet a lot of new people, and I'm in, you know, whether it's an open house or showing homes or getting a call from someone that's relocating. I am very much an ambassador for Shakopee and the schools, and so I get that question a lot. And I always tell people when I talk to them, I said, listen, I'm biased. I've worked in the district, we have 3 kids in the district, and I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
And I encourage them to talk to parents, because our parents love the schools, and our kids love the schools. And so I guess if I were to pick out key factors where I think things that our schools have to offer that maybe are a little bit more unique is, especially in the high school, as far as the number of kids that graduate with college credits, is I think second to none within the state. We have a very good program relationship with the colleges on that. I had mentioned the CAPS program is very successful. I'm also really excited about the Academy's approach in the high school. And so I think with a new referendum, we are going to have even more exciting things coming down the pipe. Also, though, I think we've been, from the time back when I was a principal in 2000, very good stewards of money. And I think John McBroom was a good leader in that when he came into the district. We were not in good shape financially, and he worked very hard with the school board to get us, you know, in a better position. And, you know, I think there's some talk out there in the public now that there's more spending going on. But if you really look at the dollars compared to student enrollment, we are very much in the same position that we were back, you know, 8 years ago. As far as ratio of administrators to students, spending per student, it's very similar to what we've done in the past, which interestingly has been lower compared to our other districts. So what I would say is I would focus on kind of the financial responsibility, the opportunities that we have for kids in the high school as far as the CAPS and the academies. And also, when you look at the elementary schools, the amount of energy and effort there's been to individualize learning. There's been a really big push from, you know, back again when I was a principal of really looking at the individual student and having teachers reflect on what can I do as a teacher to help this student better learn. And they've made just tremendous strides on that. And I see that, you know, both understanding with our kids, we have 3 kids in the district, and I also see it in just talking with teachers and with Dr. Thompson and school board members. And so it's just neat that has been a very big goal for the district, and they've kept going with that. I also look at another goal that our district's had for years, and that is as far as student enrollment. Our class sizes have continued to stay low. And so when I look at the educational experience academically, sports, you know, I think we do very well. We have great coaches and really good programs. So when I get on that soapbox, it's hard to get me off. So I just think we have a lot of exciting things to offer.
Great, great. To wrap up this interview, I would love to give you an opportunity to tell our viewers at home why you're the best candidate for this position.
Okay. Well, I think we have several good candidates that are running for school board, and I would be excited to serve with any of them that are running. I think I do have a little bit of a unique background as far as an education background and business background, having been a teacher and then working in the district and also being on the school board. I like to pride myself on the perspective and then putting in there also as a parent of 3 kids in the district. So I'd love your support, and I'll work hard, for the student interest in the district and continue the good things that we're doing and really look at what else can we do to improve.
Great.
So, thank you.
Well, thank you for your time today. I appreciate you being here. And thank you for watching this edition of Meet the Candidates 2015. For all things election related, please visit the Chamber website at shakopee.org.